Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Pole Shift News and the Mavstar Observatory. Guys, I've got some more great news coming up in this upload today. But as usual, I want to thank those people that are supporting the observatory. You know, we're an international observatory now. We have magnetometers covering all over the world. And we've got some great people on board, that have taken it upon themselves to put these magnetometers in their home. They're taking their own time out. And a lot of these people, are very professional people. It's not like they're just ordinary people, because they're not. Their careers are, you just wouldn't believe. I want to say big thanks to JD in Southern California. He came on to Skype. He said, Gene, you're out there putting these magnetometers out to people, and I probably was a little bit naive, and I do realise that the wrong people could get hold of these magnetometers and sell them or just destroy them or whatever. These people do exist. But JD said to me, he said, I had to step in and take one of these magnetometers off you so that it didn't end up in the wrong people's hands. And he's done a great job. He's built a proper housing for this magnetometer, brought a power supply for it. He's invested his own money and his personal time in this, so big thanks to him. We've got Brad in Kentucky. I've known Brad for about 10 years. He's an ex-Navy SEAL. He's a vet. He is an absolutely super guy. And I keep promising that I'm going to go over there and visit him and stay with him for a week, and he's going to teach me how to fire an M4 and things like that, and I just can't wait for that. And we've got Richard over there in the Gold Coast, Australia. Another professional person. He's a production manager. We got Jeff in Perth, an engineer. I'll tell you how important this guy is. That he's important enough that they fly him 1,500 miles to North Australia every other week. He's a real busy guy, and he's even fitted some time in to take one of these magnetometers in. All these people are great people. And we got Tony, who is a commercial airplane pilot, has been for the last 20 years, I believe. The people that have sacrificed a bit of their time to have these magnetometers is just amazing. And Tony will be having a magnetometer arrive within the next week, hopefully, and we'll have her test data, and it'll go up onto the website as all the other data is. So we're really blessed, guys. So as you can imagine, I'm just buzzing. We've got these magnetometers now going all over the world. We just need to get India or around that region, and we've got the first of the 6 magnetometers out there. And it doesn't stop there, guys. We've got a lot of other things that are going on this year. I said when I got the last one out in India, I was going to move on then to the cloud chamber, so we can get some live visual of cosmic rays going through that chamber, through the alcohol vapor in there. And just a visualization for you guys as to what is on the increase with regards to the low output of the sun at the moment, going into what is called a grand solar minimum. Adding to that, we've got a weakened magnetosphere. It's been estimated at about 20% reduction in the total magnetic field strength at the moment. I believe it could be a little bit more. And obviously, with what we're seeing with the recent uptick in the magnetic pole movement and migration, I believe it's going to go a lot less than that. Well, we cover that here in the UK with the magnetosphere strength sensor, and we've also got the TriMag, where we target the heading and the position of the magnetic North Pole. So, we're doing way more than what we used to, guys. And let me just also mention, it's not just the magnetic anomalies and all the things that are related to that we cover on this website. We've got live radar, weather maps, sea surface temperature maps, earthquake data, which is updated daily, sea ice content over the north and southern hemispheres of this earth. We've got the Schumann resonance, if you know what that is. It's lightning strikes per second over hertz, and that, as well as a lot of other things. So it's dedicated to all what's going on around us. This website is every day, and covers solar activity as well, I've just tried to do my best, guys, for you, to inform you of what is happening with our world, because we're all busy these days, aren't we, with what's going on in our daily lives, with families and things like that. I just think it's a great source of information when you can afford yourself that time to broaden your horizon and have a look what else is going on. And I think nothing could be more important than what is taking place on our little Earth. It's a rare planet. There's not many places out there in our universe that does what our planet does. It's a beautiful, beautiful planet. We have water and we have temperatures that enable all biodiversities to live and thrive. So guys, as you can see, we've got Perth, Australia data in now. It's been processed and it's live on the internet. If you want to go and have a look on Pole Shift News, just click on that link, which is the chart itself, and it'll expand it for you. You can see that it was moved around a few times at the beginning before it was settling down on a nice flat line. What I'm going to do with these charts when we start getting them in, because they're all going to be, now they've all been screwed down to the surfaces, there's not going to be these movements, so there's not going to be these big drops in there. Let me just explain something about the magnetometers that have gone out to these regions. Right, we can measure X, Y and Z on the axis, but the magnetosphere strength, or the high intensity region, what we're measuring, is a component of X and Y, and that's how we get the field strength in them regions. They can be set up, these magnetometers, to focus on the actual position of the magnetic poles, but we're not interested in that. We're interested in that component of X and Z, so that we can get the field strength, and that's what we're looking at on these charts. So what I'm going to do when we start getting the 4-month readings back from these locations around the world is we're going to zoom in on the left hand side of these charts, the resolution, and that way we can see what's been going on over a 24-hour period, and we'll be able to, I know they look like little straight lines at the moment, but they're not. They do move up and down, and over time we are definitely going to see increases or decreases, as opposed to how those field strengths in these regions change over time. So why have we all put so much effort into this? Well, there's 7 or 8 billion people on this planet, and probably less than 1% are aware of something that is going to be more acceptable in the future with regards to what is important that sustains life on a planet, and it's the magnetosphere, and whatever it is in the core of our Earth, as these other scientists claim, it's generated by the magneto, in turn produces magnetic poles, and we get a nice protective shield around our planet that looks after us. And I think it's going to become very acceptable in the future that the main planetary mechanics starts with magnetic fields, and if we're going to look for life elsewhere on other planets, it might be worth us focusing on the magnetic field first, because if we have that, we have a protected atmosphere. It's very likely that there's gases on that planet that are not just in gaseous state, that's also in liquid form, maybe water. And if that is the case, it's probably at the correct distance, or as we know, the Goldilocks zone from a star, where it also bathes it with that solar energy. And we know that the 2 most important things on our planet right now are, to start with, that we get a regular and healthy amount of inbound solar radiation, and then secondly, that the Earth does provide us with a magnetic field to protect us from the cosmic radiation. So when you start looking more into this topic and subject, you're going to find out that everything revolves around that magnetic field and that solar energy. It starts, the food chain starts with the inbound radiation, providing vegetation for the animals that feed on it, and in turn the vegetables and things like that, the vegetation that we eat and consume, and the vegetation that other animals consume. It all starts with solar radiation, and limited amount of cosmic radiation, and that's what our magnetosphere does, and that's what our sun does for us on this planet. But we're in a rare time, guys. It was 780,000 years ago that our Earth decided, now to go into a full reversal. And I believe it is a full reversal that we're going to experience. Not a part reversal, a short time part reversal, because, we have had those in the last 780,000 years that have happened. But the reason why I believe we're going into a complete reversal this time is because before that, every 350,000 years we used to go into a reversal, and it is well overdue a complete reversal. 500,000 years overdue, to be exact. And I've explained it sometimes to you guys, that I have concerns that we might not get another reversal. Something terrible could happen. The magnetosphere could collapse and not even come back online. And this isn't uncommon. We live in a solar system where this has happened to planets before, and I'm talking about the neighbouring planet, Mars. That's exactly what happened to Mars. We know there was water on there. Looking at the terraform, we can see those what look like veins going across its surface were carved out by thousands and thousands of years of water movement on that planet. It doesn't have much of an atmosphere anymore. It certainly doesn't have a magnetic field like it used to, and we know it did have at one point, which probably protected its atmosphere and its water on its planet. But as soon as that collapsed and didn't come back online, it lost its atmosphere through sputtering, and it lost very likely its water from its surface as a result of that. We just don't want that to happen to our planet, and that's why we focus on this topic. 10 years I've dedicated to this topic, and I know how important it is. And guys, you might think it's not affecting your lives right now, but over the last 30 years there's been some dramatic changes. What you got to remember is that the Earth and things on planetary scales like this planet happen on a very, very slow time period. It's because of the inertia that they do happen over time. And in the last 30 years we've seen the magnetic poles increase in speed, covering more distance in shorter time periods. We've also seen the dramatic changes to the climate of the planet, more importantly the jet streams, and it's been recognised. And this, at this point in time where we're so heavily dependent on technology and massive food production industries, and we're seeing and hearing of the devastation it's caused recently with regards to floods in the United States, droughts in other parts of the world, flash floods, and these Arctic temperatures very close almost to the equatorial regions where they shouldn't be getting that sort of weather. This is the sort of thing that is taking place, and guys, it is affecting you right now in your pockets. As you know, food prices going up, and that's because when things become less of, they demand more of a price. It's like gold on the stock market or any other commodity. When it's not so readily available, it starts to raise the price of it, and just for that reason alone it's affecting you. But you might be like us in the UK. Last year there was some of the salad packs that we weren't able to get hold of due to climatic changes from some of the countries that we import these things from. The world, guys, is changing. So I'm going to leave it here, guys. I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank those people that have got these magnetometers and they're taking their time out to put them in there. I also want to thank you guys that are supporting us financially with a contribution either on a PayPal or on the Patreon account. It would be great if we could raise the number. It's 155 people, I think it is, out of 22,000 people that have decided, we're going to put some funding into this and we're going to help this guy, continue doing what he's doing. If we could get some more funding, guys, that'd be absolutely amazing. It's just going to speed up more what we're able to do in this observatory for you guys at the end of the day. And I don't need to say any more about that. I just want to say big thanks to those that do support us. And guys, come on, join us. Get on Patreon and or make a one-off payment on or donation on PayPal. Join us. It's for you guys at the end of the day. And we're collecting data now from all over the world, and it's on probably the most significant topic, apart from your, what takes place in your family lives. When you expand your horizon out there, and you focus on things that are going on around you and what's happening on your planet, we're giving you the information there on our website, Pole Shift News. So, you have a great week, and I will say what I usually do, guys. Bye for now.